Well, hello there. Look lads, it's that time of the year again, and seeing that Stellaris had just received its newest expansion, I thought there was no better time than now to convince my friends to play our favorite space genocide simulator. A few of them joined me on my crusade immediately, but the vast majority of them deemed the game too hard a few hours into it and prematurely forfeited their seat in the Galactic Council. There was only one card left to play in my hand, to make a. First thing you want to do when you open the game is to create your own empire. Stella-ris at its core is a role-playing experience, and while there isn't anything wrong with picking a preset empire, creating one for yourself is part of the core gameplay fantasy. A lot of the choices here are purely cosmetic. The few actually important ones are traits, origin, and government ethics. Traits affect your population, or pops, the single most important resource of your empire. Balance the points with both positive and negative traits to specialize your pops according to your gameplay needs or roleplay fantasy. The same goes for the origin and ethics. Each comes with their own upsides and downsides, changing your overall game plan by a varying degree. The benefits they give are not equal, and some are far more challenging than others. As always, pick the ones that suit your roleplaying needs. Once you've created your own empire, use the default galaxy settings and start up a game. Don't panic when you load into the game. You're probably overwhelmed by the amount of information being displayed on the screen. Let me help you compartmentalize them. So the first thing you gotta do is click that little music note icon in the top right. Yep, that one. That's it. Click that. Now scroll down until you find this song and put it on loop. Now that you've calmed down a bit, let's get started. The first thing I need to hammer into your brain is the outliner. This panel houses all the important objects in your empire, such as planets, starbases, military and civilian fleets, among other things. Let's start with the civilian ships. At the start of the game, you should have a construction ship and a science ship. These two ships go hand in hand in the early game. Charter across the stars with the science ship by right-clicking a system to survey it. Then use the construction ship to construct an outpost in a fully surveyed system. The completion of the outpost will mark that system as part of your empire, and you can then construct mining and research stations by right-clicking the system with the construction ship. Some systems have this planet icon beside them, meaning that there is a habitable planet in that system. Green means high habitability and red means otherwise. Settle on planets with green habitability. Once you control a system with a habitable planet, left-click the icon and click Colonize, and pick a species in your empire to settle there. A colony ship will then be automatically built and sent to colonize this planet. On other occasions, you may run into a system with a dig site icon. This means there is an archaeology site in the system. Control the system and right-click it with the science ship to start digging. These sites give you minor artifacts which have its own uses. The entire process we just described forms the basis of your territorial expansion. For people with low APM or don't know where to survey, click on this button to enable auto surveying, and this button to enable auto construction for mining and research stations. Just remember, not making a choice is a choice in itself, but it's the worst choice possible. While surveying a system, your science ship will sometimes come across anomalies that they can investigate to grant certain bonuses. The time it takes to investigate them will vary depending on its difficulty level and your scientist's level. So it's a good idea to ignore anomalies that take several hundred days to investigate at the beginning so as not to slow down the rate at which your science ships survey systems. To further boost our survey speed, we could construct additional science ships. Select the shipyard in your outliner. This should pop out a panel for your home system's starbase. You can see that starbases have module and building slots. This particular one is marked as a shipyard because it has a one shipyard module, allowing it to construct one ship at a time. Switch to the shipyard tab at the bottom and construct the science ship. Once constructed, the new science ship will show up on the outliner. Select the newly constructed science ship. The panel at the bottom left will tell you that it doesn't have a scientist on board, meaning that it isn't operational yet. Clicking on it will take you to the leader tab where you can hire leaders. Spend some Unity to hire a new scientist and place it in the science ship to get it to work. Then there's the military fleets, which are built from shipyards. At the beginning, you can only build corvettes, but as your tech advances, you can build bigger and bigger ships. Ideally, you'd want to design these ships to specialize in different areas such as brawler, gunship, carrier, and artillery. Use the AI-assisted specialization to help you design ships. Do whatever you want, as long as you don't use fully auto-generated designs. The default AI designs are stupidly dumb. Remember, not making a choice is a choice in itself, but it's the worst choice possible. After you design the ships, build some with the alloys you have. Ships built at the same starbase will try to group into a single fleet. Each fleet has a command limit, which limits how many ships can be in it. You can group multiple fleets together with this button, as long as the combined fleet is at or below the command limit. Don't go over your naval capacity or you'll have increased ship upkeep and end up like the US where you spend nearly half of your military budget on maintenance and upkeep. Hire an admiral with some Unity and assign it to give the entire fleet some stats boost. The Unity you just spent hiring scientists and admirals is one of many resource types in this game. The other main ones are Energy, minerals, food, consumer goods, alloy, influence, and research. Research boosts the rate at which you acquire new tech in the 3 tech categories: physics, society, and engineering. Whenever this pop-up shows up, click here or here to pick a new tech to research. Turn on auto research if you have no hands, don't want to read, or want your choices made for you. But remember, not making a choice is a choice in itself, but it's the worst choice possible. Unity is used to hire leaders, ascend planets, and adopt tradition trees. Expansion and discovery are usually good early game. Fully adopting a tradition tree unlocks an ascension perk slot, which lets you select from a list of powerful ascensions. There's a limited number of tree and perk slots, so you can't pick everything. Read their effects and pick the ones you need. While certain resources and all research types can be boosted by building mining and research stations whenever available, the main source of production comes from planets and megastructures. Planets are the backbone of your empire. Select your capital from your outliner and open up the planetary view. Displayed here are the stability, pop count, crime level, housing, amenities, available jobs, and unemployed pops. In a best case scenario, you want these to go as low as possible and these to go as high as possible. Various icons will show up in the aforementioned outliner to indicate any issues with the planets, such as insufficient housing, low amenities, or unemployment. Use them as indicator that your planets need management. Each planet can support 12 buildings and a varying amount of districts based on planet sizes and other factors. Let's talk about districts first. Districts provide housing and various job types. Jobs don't produce anything on their own. They need to be worked on by pops. Having a lot of empty jobs without pops to work on them isn't useful, so don't spam districts. Buildings offer more specialized jobs than regular districts. Some buildings can be built repeatedly, while others are limited. Some good ones to spam are research labs and admin offices. Build more city districts to unlock more building slots. To get a clearer picture of your planet production, you can navigate to the population tab to see your pop growth speed and also which jobs are being worked on and which jobs aren't. The AI will auto-decide which jobs to have your pops work on, but you can also manually manage them. Left-clicking a job type will prioritize filling that job type first. You can also specify the maximum number of jobs of a certain type you want to be worked on. Read the district and building descriptions and use this knowledge to help you manage your planet production. Do not hand over control to the AI. They make horrible decisions. The other way to get lots of monthly production is through megastructures. As your tech advances, you will eventually get the mega engineering technology, which grants you the ability to research and construct various megastructures, each granting substantial amounts of resource income. Once you've researched a megastructure, select a construction ship and click this icon to build a megastructure. Some megastructures are built around stars, some around planets, and some around black holes. You can instead right-click a celestial body to find out which megastructures you can build on it. Use these megastructures to boost your late game production dramatically. There's also the Edicts system, which applies empire-wide modifiers for as long as they're enacted. Some of these are really useful, but the main downside resides in their monthly upkeep. Fortunately, enacting Unity-based edicts is free as long as the total amount of Unity upkeep is less than the amount of edict fund you have. You should stay under this fund cap and only go over it in the late game when you have a surplus of Unity production. As you explore the galaxy, you will encounter various types of aliens. Click on these radar signs to assign envoys to eventually establish communications with them. There's many alien types in the world. Spaceborne creatures float around and are either docile or hostile. Regular AI empires that do what you do and are either docile or hostile. Enclaves make deals with you for various modifiers. Marauder empires just want to raid people and will raid you if you don't pay tributes to them. Then there's the Fallen empires, which are incredibly ancient empires that are considerably stronger than you but will not expand except when awakened or under some other specific circumstances, so best not to anger them until late game when you can smash their skulls in and take all their precious tech for yourself. Click on other empires' empire flags or press F1 and scroll to engage in diplomacy. You can trade, negotiate pacts, insult each other, or declare war. To start a conquest war, which is the most basic form of war, you need to claim some of the opposing empire's systems. Click Manage Claims and spend some influence to claim some systems. When you win the war, the systems you claimed will fall under your control if you seize them. To fight a war, you obviously need military fleets. Send them into enemy territory to automatically engage enemy starships and bases. Destroying the starbase allows you to seize the system. But if there are enemy colonies in that system, then you need to invade them with ground forces instead. Navigate to the Army tab of your planets and build some armies. These army ships are powerless against regular fleets, so keep them away from those. Right-click an enemy colony with the army to invade it. As long as your army strength is greater than defenders on the planet, you should be good in most cases. Unlike military fleets, armies don't have a command limit, so you can just make a death ball with them. Capture all colonies in a system to seize it. The more systems and colonies you seize from the opponent, the more likely they will accept defeat. Make sure to end the war quickly because war exhaustion accumulates as the war progresses. At 100% war exhaustion, the opponent can force you to accept a status quo ceasefire. Likewise, if they are the one at 100% war exhaustion, you can then force a status quo to keep the claimed systems you have seized so far. Of course, there's more than just conquest wars in Stella-ris. There's also vassalization wars, threat containment wars, and total wars, just to name a few. If you wish to stay alive, don't be a sitting duck letting other empires do whatever they want. Build a strong fleet and don't let them bully you. Remember, not making a choice is a choice in itself, but it's also so that's the gist of the game. Expand your empire and manage your planets. Be curious and cautious as you explore the galaxy. There's many secrets and dangers out there that are best left for you to discover them yourself. Note that it's natural as a new player to often find yourself overwhelmed by pop-ups as you play through the game. The reading part is mostly flavor text, so just hover over the options at the bottom to see the actual impact these events have, and pick the one you want. If you miss one by accident, press F2 to go to the situation panel and take another look. Don't forget to pause if needed. In time, you will slowly memorize these names and pictures and be able to go through them without even looking at them. With all of that said, you are now properly equipped with the fundamental knowledge required to enjoy the game. There's just some minor stuff that I haven't explained yet, like force disparity, precursor sieves, jump drives, cloaking, colossus, the shroud, and